Okay. Woo! I see you, lady. That's right.
Hey,
How are you doing?
very well, thank you. How are you?
I- I'm fine. I'm fine. Excellent. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So my friend Peace is joining me, and she's a HR professional. And it's even good to have a HR person here because somehow the kind of conversations about marriage has to do with you know employment, has to do with selection and hiring. Yeah, hiring somebody into your life,
Interviewing.
interviewing, selection. You know. Okay, Prince is also trying to get on the live. So, any moment from now. Prince, you're welcome. Good to see you, bro.
Thank you so much, man of God. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Happy
Yeah.
I'm
All
sorry I came
right.
in a little
So,
late.
yeah, you're welcome. Funny enough, the network helped everybody to be early because it went off and then I had to restart. So, we're all early right now. All right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Pastor Lillian. Yeah, Prince is here. So, today's conversation, the topic is right there. Why people don't get married early. I put early in what do you call that in parentheses, right? And let me just set a little foundation before I get you guys talking. um let me introduce Prince a little bit. Prince is an engineer, studied engineering. Right now he's in business development. He's a marketing consultant with Cisco. That's a tech firm. And then he's also a singer. Yeah, that's a music man, songwriter, music director, and generally a businessman. And also single at the moment. Okay, no, not so single. Okay, just not
You have
married.
the other part, yeah? I'm unmarried.
Yes, unmarried. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. All right, so thank you for joining us. Peace is also unmarried. Okay.
I do.
Peace, when you're giving serious face, I will not fear you. I will not fear your face.
This is the HR phase. Like, I have to be very
Oh
careful
wow.
now.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Well, we're not here for interview now. I'm not here for an interview.
All right, so I want to say something, right? So there's a reason I put early in parentheses because some people are going to say things like, "What do you mean by early? Who says there's a time for people to get married? Who told you that? 1 month late is another month early." You hear all those kind of arguments, and so I know this topic is really a hot one, but the essence of this is to capture some of the real challenges that we go through as young people, the real challenges single people go through. And let's see how we can start preferring solutions to some of these things. All right. So first things first. Um, who goes first, Prince or the lady? Lady or guy? You guys vote.
Ladies first.
Prince
Who
is
goes
going to
first?
say ladies first.
Ladies
I
first.
know.
I'm sorry you can't
It,
help it.
it,
Yeah,
it,
that's a
I mean,
lifelong
I'm a
thing.
gentleman, so I mean, I cannot not do that, you know.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So peace. Yeah. What do you have to say about this topic, generally? What do you have to say?
Yeah. Okay. First off, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and a platform. The topic is quite, I wouldn't use the word complicating, but uh, it's very dicey because, like you said, a lot of people would ask questions because is there like a time frame for people to get married? Yeah, so that's part of why people not get married early and all of those things. But yeah, these are real issues. These are real life situations, and it is important that we start talking about these things. For me,
Yeah.
it's an interesting topic, and I'm really excited to be on this panel. There are a lot
Yeah.
of reasons for me. So I'm going to be talking from the late. I don't know if we need to talk from. I'm just going
Yeah.
to
I can speak from the
give
lady's
in.
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are a lot of reasons, especially in this dispensation. But I think I'm going to be talking about the emotional aspect. I feel um, why women, the generation of women today, find it difficult to get married. I will talk about the emotional choices. Okay, and
Mm.
um, and then we're going to talk about the finance aspect too. Talking about
Mm.
that finance
Money
aspect
matters.
is a very money matter is a
It's
very
big
serious
deal. In
one.
fact, I have another conversation around that there.
Then we have the I would use the word in on seriousness from the male, from the guys, the
Mm. You're going to explain what
emotional,
that is anyway.
emotional immaturity. Chris is doing. Chris
Wahala.
is like he's ready for me.
Oh my God.
Wahala.
Yes.
Wahala.
So yeah, these are the things that we are going to be talking about. So I don't know if I should give Prince an opportunity, then we dive into it.
No,
But
you
this
start.
is like
You
an
start now. You just outlined it. Talk about them so that I'll just we,
okay.
we don't have all night.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm going to be talking about the ego, the money
Okay.
situation,
Okay.
and
Okay. Let's talk money.
so
Yeah.
now,
I'm coming. Sorry. Just before you get into that, I want to talk to somebody here. Feb Blossom, I'm seeing you. I want to hear from you because all this ginger you're gingering in the chat room.
I'm
Eh?
seeing
So
her
Feb,
saying bam, bam, bam.
yes. So Feb, I want
I
to
had
hear
I
your
had
points
I
too.
had to go and check who Blossom was.
She's a full vibe, bro. She's a full vibe. In fact, Feb, don't worry. I'll bring you on the line one of these days. I hope you come. Okay. So please go ahead, please. Yeah.
Hmm. So you see this money issue, all right? This ego, I think it has been misinterpreted a lot of times, and it's really affecting the relationships. I mean, emotional relationship between a man and a woman in
Okay.
this dispensation, in this generation. We have insecure
Hmm.
men. So I don't know.
Okay.
I live in Abuja, and in the city of Abuja, I have a lot of friends. I have the males. I have a lot of them. We have conversations. We chill. We vibe. And in these parts, ladies are kind of in a way doing okay. Then you see a guy who meets a lady who he likes, like likes her vibe and all of those things, and one thing leads to the other. They go out on a date, and eventually they started a relationship, and for whatever reason notices or he visits her and notices that this girl is doing
She's
very
very comfortable.
okay. I mean, she's very comfortable. The next thing, most of them would start withdrawing. And then I ask questions, why? Because the whole vibe was there. You hear things like, I beg, I know fit sponsor this babe. I know get the financial. This girl is already made. You know, the lady, she already has everything. What am I bringing? I'm like, what do you mean? Like there are a lot of support, emotional support, and all of that. Then I hear the whole emphasis of relationship without money is nothing, and a man that cannot provide is a useless man. You know, those kind of talks. We keep hearing those things, and
Hmm.
eventually you see that there's this disconnect, and you hear that I can't control this one. I can't control her. If I say something, she's got the word to say or something. So I want someone that I can control.
Hmm.
That
Control.
is one of the problems we are facing, like right now, literally. A man sees a woman that is
Thank you
doing
so
okay,
much.
the next thing,
That's the guy is insecure and he feels like he can't control her.
yeah,
Huh.
I want a girl
But is it
that
like
I can
this guy
control.
doesn't have a job himself?
I, 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 I feel there's a whole lot of insecurity there.
Okay, let me allow Prince respond to this and any other person really in the comments. You know,
Ah, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yes, I can.
Right. I'm going. I'm going to first respond, Pastor Lillian. Pastor Lillian, I just got in from work, so that's why I was sweating. I have to quickly turn on my generator. But
Yeah,
he doesn't
sorry, oh,
scare me. He doesn't scare me.
it's a Lagos something. You see, Abuja people now they have been at home since like
I
6 o'clock.
swear. I swear. Oh, but God did that.
It's okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah. So
welcome, my brother. Yeah, go ahead.
first off, I'm going to quickly say that in this part, in this part, the major
Yeah.
challenge we have with people struggling men struggling to marry early is a cultural challenge. The challenge of
Okay.
information foundation is a fundamental problem. For instance, why do you want to control your wife? That's one
Okay.
question, right?
I didn't get that.
Why
Yeah.
would you want to control your wife?
Oh.
Okay.
Very
Mm.
I
good.
mean, I can totally relate with everything you've said, right? But I'm just trying to put you in the perspective of a man, really. The problem most of the men have is a problem of information, is a fundamental problem. Okay. So it's something that even the schools, school system has not been able to, because the schools don't address it, the churches don't address it. Okay, you go to school
Hmm.
and you just want to get a degree and come out, and so you have a degree but you're not exposed. Okay,
Hmm.
and we go to church and the church is focusing on okay, you have to make money and you have to go to heaven. That's basically what's happening in the church in Nigeria right now. Really, you know, as a
Yeah.
church boy, I'm a preacher too, so I can tell you that for free. Okay, and when the church
Yeah.
wants to talk about relationships, the church will talk about sex, the church will talk about compatibility, and then they will jump some of these scares. All right, nobody's looking at them, but the major challenge the man has, why the men are I don't think intimidate is the right word. I feel they are. It's a mediocre attitude to see a lady doing better than you and want to run away. I personally would like
Chai.
to be with someone that is doing, if not better, at least as well as I am doing. There is this peace of mind that comes with, um, okay, so I don't have to overthink about things I want to pay for. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fundamental, it's a problem of information. Okay,
Hmm. Okay.
it doesn't make it right or wrong. It just simply says this guy does not know. They need to be taught. Okay. Hi,
Somebody
Jay.
is calling your name. I don't know if he's agreeing with you or if he's angry.
I don't know. With that smiling, are you concurring
That's
or? Okay, so let me quickly say that for men, right? That was me responding to the last point you made, right? Right. But
okay.
generally, one of the major challenges with men getting married now is finance, like you said, and it's not
Nice.
finance because they do not have. It's finance because of the pressure the society is placing on wedding,
Hmm.
not marriage.
Hmm. That's a strong point. Oh.
Okay,
Hmm.
social media, society, family. I was talking with someone on Sunday, and I mean, people, we're just gisting in church, myself, me, Sam, some other guys, and we're like, come on, this marriage thing is not difficult. So the pressure is not
Mm-hmm.
even your pressure. The pressure is pressure of your family,
It's
all right?
yeah.
Pressure from the
Yeah.
society. For instance, okay, now we're talking about ladies. You want to get married to a lady, she might be down with the whole, let's do what we can do. And then she's coming from an
Mm-hmm.
influential family and you're in trouble because you have to meet up to a certain standard, right? My
yeah.
daddy's
Okay.
friends are going to be coming for the party, and I
Hill.
mean, that even if she doesn't say it to you, by saying my daddy's friends are going to be coming, she has put you under pressure. You know, so it's the financial
Yeah.
pressure, yeah, not like I
Yeah.
said, pressure from the man, but from what the society has presented, from social
Yeah.
media, from family and friends. So it becomes a problem. And that's one. The second thing, of course, is the problem of information, like I said earlier on. Most of the men now are too busy pursuing after money that they don't
Hmm.
get the right knowledge about marriage and understand that money is even sweeter. Wealth is sweeter if people make it together.
Yeah. True.
You know? Because we are human beings and we all have ego. Everybody's carrying his own bag of ego and moving around. So if you're making more money than, or you made the other person in some kind of way every once in a while, something will happen and that thing will come out, come and issue. You
Yeah.
will remind the person, or the person will remind you, or even if you don't say it, there's let me just paint a picture. For instance, um, you train your spouse for her through school,
Yeah.
now doing fine, she has money, probably also have money, everybody's doing fine, and you come home from work one day and then there's no food, or the bed was not made when she left for work. Then you ask,
Mm.
you know. Now, I like to make this paint this scenario whenever I'm teaching about blame games. Blame games didn't
Okay.
start from us. Blame games started from Adam and Eve.
Way
When
back.
God came and asked Adam, "Where are you?" Instead of Adam to say, "Lord, I'm here. I'm hiding somewhere," Adam said, "It's the woman that you gave me."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
invariably saying, "God, you're the reason that I'm in this problem. If you
Now
did
you
not
cause
give me this woman,
some.
now you cause
I would have been fine.
and that
Mm-hmm.
happens in relationships. And you're now asking her, why there's no food, and she say, I have to go to work. Oh. You know,
Mm.
emotional blackmail. No be you train me, no be you say make I go work.
Mm-hmm.
And in your mind, in your head, you're already saying, yeah, I leave this game, make she just no go. I could see food stuff, or at least I have money for the both of us. So it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a very, I don't know if we can
You
exhaust this gist in
cannot.
1 hour,
You
We
cannot.
definitely
but it's a
cannot
lot.
actually. Yeah.
You cannot.
So at
I'm
least
stop here.
it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, sorry, let me come in. Thank you so much, my brother. It's good that some very major points have been mentioned. You talked about the cultural challenge, where a man just feels like he should control a woman. That is one error of his own that I wish, um, that men will start to think and see things differently. All right. It's partly why we have these kind of sessions to teach people, in fact, there's a lot to explore there. Let me just move on now. I'll come back to it perhaps if there's time. And then you talked about also the financial pressure that's on the guy, not just because he doesn't have a job, because for me, this is what I keep asking myself. I see a lot of professional singles, guys and girls are like, these guys are working. Some are working and working well, like earning well, right? Some are in business and are relatively doing well. And by relatively doing well, I mean they're able to pay their rent, they're able to put food on the table, they're able to afford themselves some cool hangouts and vacations and stuff like that. They're able to meet their basic needs and even a bit more. All right. But then you're wondering, why is this guy not married? Like, waiting remain. All right. So in this case now, that financial pressure of the wedding, wanting to have it in a kind of way. Please, do you think they're afraid of that wedding? Right? Or okay. So what do you think?
I,
Like,
I, I,
what do you
I
have to
don't,
say?
I don't think before we even get to the wedding part, right? Because sincerely, there are still a lot of singles who are getting married every day. People see they marry you.
Mm-hmm.
There are people getting married
Mm-hmm.
every Saturday right now.
Oh yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but before you get to that point, there is something called commitment. Some of it's not like
Mm-hmm.
you said. There are a lot of singles who are okay, who are doing well, and every reasonable woman where I know the truth would be okay with.
Mm-hmm.
But before we
Yeah.
but before we even get to that point of let's
Yeah.
do this, that fear of commitment,
From the guys,
no day
huh?
from the guys, no day.
So what are the qualities you see in a guy that makes you say this guy is running from commitment?
Hey, hey. 2 seconds, it goes through.
I, I, I would even want to ask you in what form does commitment speak? Commitment now. What does it mean? How do
Commit
you know?
For me, commitment is not just okay, I see this person, I like this person, let's have a relationship. Commitment for me is a total, it's a body. So it goes beyond a
Mm.
relationship. It goes beyond, it's an intentional work. I want to do this with this person. I want to be involved in this
Yeah.
person's life. I mean, all round. Not babe, what's
So,
up?
so
And
the
this and
Yeah.
that.
commitment is the wanting. That's what
That's what I'm saying.
saying.
It's the wanting to be in the person's life. Like, I mean, with everything involved with the person. So now they select a
Okay.
part. They select a part. They choose what part of the person's life they want to be committed, like that's not commitment, that they want to be involved in, and then you see them neglect very important parts.
Can you keep this practical and real, right? Because I like this thing you just said. The guys they choose the part that they want to show up for. Then some kind parts don't bring it up. So what are those things that the guys want, right? And then what are the ones they technically avoid? Then guys, I hope the other guys will also defend these points or say what they think. Yeah, go ahead, please.
So I'm going to be talking from the ladies' angle, right? Or should
Yeah,
I talk
sure.
about? So for we ladies, the commitments, you see we have communication problem now in most relationships, all right? We have
Okay.
communication and understanding problem. A lot of people kind of talk to you, but they're not with you. A lot. I
Sure.
mean, relationships can break up because of that. You would hear, he doesn't listen to me. He's not interested. I want him to listen. I'm in a situation where I'm hurting. I need to have a conversation with my man. I need him to understand with me. The only thing you're hearing him say is it's not a problem. It's not a problem. So you hear a lot of ladies say, this man he's not reaching out to my need. Like there is
Yeah.
a need. I'm crying out that
Yeah.
I want you to feel me, understand me. They are absent-minded.
Oh.
So that communication is a problem. You can be having a conversation with your man like for an hour, and then the next day he is asking you of the things you guys talked about because you're expecting him to have reacted. Maybe there was you're laughing. Maybe there was a situation like a serious problem, and the next day you're expecting that babe, how far that's what we
I'm
talked about.
literally in your shoes right now. I'll break up with him the next minute. For what
Yeah.
what in the communication is that? Oh
Seriously,
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
I mean, these are real life situations, no jokes. These are real life
Exactly.
situations,
And
and
I'm
then
glad you're
you
giving
hear,
this example.
and you hear the guy say, babe, because the girl is expecting. These are little things that matter. The girl is expecting a feedback. Babe, what's up? That's what we talked about yesterday. Have you been able to resolve what is? I am the one
Can't
reminding
remember.
you. I am
You
the
can't
one
remember.
reminding you, and the next thing I'm hearing from you is, what did we talk about yesterday?
Okay, so let me quickly while at the hot. Let me
That's
respond.
the
Let
odds.
me
Okay.
let me respond to that. I can totally relate to what you're saying, right? But uh, I feel like okay, it takes a week to catch a week, right?
Okay.
You cannot. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. I, we have a problem with um babies going into relations that they are not
Chai.
ready for. We have a problem with my dad said something to me one time. We saw two young people that came plans of marriage. My father said a baby cannot have a baby,
Choi.
and I tried to ask him what he meant and discovered that it was not he was not talking about biological having of a baby. He was talking about betting a marriage. And he said I should watch
Yeah.
them. They will keep coming back here for counseling. And so why I said that women need to start understanding that men are not um, wired to multitask like women are. That's why I said let me talk to you as
Mm-hmm.
the hot now because I get that every other day, right? Now
Yeah.
a man forgets every other thing if there is something bothering him. So
Point.
no matter how you say it to him, all right, if there's something bothering that man, that particular one you're saying will not enter. It's only a woman that you can
At
tell
all.
500 things and ask her, she will
The
remember all of
waiting
them.
for.
But you see, but if a man's just that my car gets bad and it's parked on the road and I come back and you're telling me about one thing that happened somewhere, there's a difference between listening and actually hearing you.
Yeah.
Obvious.
He might be sitting out there listening with you, but a guy in his head is calculating brake pad, he's calculating gearbox, he's calculating stuff. All right. Now that's a part that a woman has to understand. Now, men need to also understand that you have to deliberately create room for
That is the
these
key. That's the balance we're
conversations
talking
to
about.
happen. That's the balance I said I was going to talk about. So
Exactly.
is a problem. That's why I said babies cannot have babies.
Hmm.
Relationship
Yeah.
is not beans. If you're going into
Mm-hmm.
it, you have to understand that you don't have everything coming at you the way you want all the time. One. Then you have to
That's a
understand
good
that
point.
it's a two-way thing, right? When he's
Mm-hmm.
when he's in that place, when he's in that zone, understand that he's in that zone. Try and help him through it, right? For you as the man, also understand that a woman craves attention, sometimes even for the most silliest of reasons. You have to
Mm-hmm.
deliberately create room to hear
Yes.
that thing she wants to say. You have to
Exactly.
deliberately create room to contribute. Sometimes, all a woman needs is, are you serious? Wow. But that was okay now. End of story.
Yeah.
You've
And we're
solved her
good.
problem. You've
Yeah.
when I learned it, most of my I don't have too many female friends, but when I learned it, most of them it seemed as if we got closer. They feel like I'm in so many of those conversations. But the truth of the matter is that I know the I I
Don't blow your
know the
cover.
I know the technique now. And so when they go off like a loose cannon, women can be very excited when they want to pass an information, right? Try to feign
Yeah.
excitement. Wow, as she goes on,
Really?
every 3 minutes, I'll pick out one word and repeat it. Oh, he really did that. He said yes, and she will be so happy. The problem now is that the problem now is that Pastor Tony, the Lord
Yeah.
rebuke you in Jesus' name. The problem now is that we men have not learned the balance and women have not learned the balance. And that's why I
Yeah.
said you have to be matured to want to go into, because you will not you cannot have that man 100%. The truth is that once a man puts a project in his mind, it doesn't matter how big or small that project is, until he gets at that project and finishes, most of the things you say will fly over the top of his head. And that's how it is.
Oh,
And now with
wow.
the pressure of
Okay.
trying to make ends meet or working in Nigeria or working in Lagos, for instance, and I just got home now, okay, and you come to me to tell me that something happened at work today. Yeah. I mean, it's important to you. Well, it's not important to me. You need to understand.
You have to
Wow.
make it important, my brother.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
These are the issues.
These
I
are
have
the
come back
issues.
from work. It's an issue, but then you have to. That's why I said men have to deliberately create a balance.
You
Okay,
just need to create that
Yeah.
you have to
sincerely.
create a balance. But also, women understand that men are wired to think like this. Wait, that
Wait,
that
wait,
one in
sorry.
front of us.
Have we gotten to that point where we're already advising ourselves so that I get myself ready to advise you men?
No, I'm responding to what you've just said. You talked about
Please
communication and
have
attention,
your advice
so I'm
ready.
trying to
We'll use your
respond
advice.
to what you've said. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Prince. And I must say that you really hit it on the head. I could see all the ladies go communication, like, wow, big deal, big deal, big deal.
I can see.
All the ladies could relate. And I was laughing because, Prince could also relate that, these people are true. Pastor Lillian even made a comment. She's a married woman. She's been married like 12 years. And she said something there. She said, that is not a point to take very serious. So, in other words, even when you marry them, sorry, when you marry us, we will still be like that. All right. That is a fundamental man problem. All right. But I like the balance that Prince brought to it. And I think someone mentioned there, I think that was Montreberry, who said it's about intentionality. That's where intentionality comes in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that marriage does to people. And if you are not ready to challenge your your what now? Your mode of operation, your way of life, your way of thinking, the way you behave. If you are fixed on your ways, you're gonna have a challenge with marriage, actually, because these are some of the small areas that marriage comes to challenge to help you get better. All right, you can't say no, that's just how I am. You have to accept it like that. All right, no, you have to be willing to make compromises. You have to learn
Yeah.
the work. All right. So I mean, just to kind of tie that point together, were you going to give another example beyond communication? Is there something else? I mean, you already spoke about how um, there are things that they want to pay attention to and other things they don't want to pay attention to. So, is there any other example you want to give?
This one go add. So we have a problem with intelligence incompatibility.
Oh, oh. Are you saying the men are not intelligent enough?
No,
Excuse
that
me.
is what I'm saying. That's
I
the
get
truth.
what you're saying, right?
He understands what I'm. It took me a lot to have to say this.
Okay,
Now, now,
okay.
now, now we have a problem with when you have like a set of like an age grade, right? So say two of us we grew up together. I'm a woman, you're a man. Sincerely, the way we are wired from statistics, you realize that women of that age they tend to be smarter.
Yeah,
They tend to be
true.
yeah. They tend to be smarter. They tend to be more intelligent. They tend to be more exposed. So now you are having a conversation with your age grade, who is a man. You will consider
Yeah.
yourself, say, now this one me, I won't marry. Like, is
So
this
so
who
so let me
I
let me
want
let me
to?
sorry. Let me cut in here. Sorry. So somehow you can't find inspiration in that man.
Uh, now, you see this thing, marriage.
Is that taking it a very
Yes,
different point on its own?
yes.
Because I think her network is frozen. Okay, okay. Can you hear me,
Yeah, yeah,
please?
yeah.
Okay, so for me, what I was just hearing from what you were saying was that you look at this person and it's like you can't find that inspiration, that thing that makes you want to draw closer to
Yes,
them, want
yes,
to be with
yes,
him. You
yes,
know, like it's
yes.
not there. Even if he's making money and he's macho and all
Yes,
that.
exactly. Because for marriage, as how God has designed it, right? The man is the leader, and as a woman, you know yourself. You know you are supposed to follow someone that you can respect, someone that you can take not orders from, someone that literally inspires you. So you see that person as your leader. Now, there is a problem
Mm,
if you do not see that person as someone you can follow, as someone that can lead you
mm,
and your children. It becomes a problem. Now, it
mm.
starts from conversations, starts
Okay.
from dates, it starts
Mm,
from, of course, relationships. When you start having conversations with this person, the level of maturity, I would say, or exposure, they are not they are not even I don't feel like it's almost like on the same level or something you can even not I can't even use the word manage because it's far from you can't manage those kind of things.
mm.
But you understand the point I'm trying to make. So I think that is also one of our prevailing issues.
That's a big point. That's a
Yes.
big point. Wow. So, I mean, I want other ladies to speak to this before Prince will say something. You can do that in the comments. Ladies, do you find that point also relatable? Where there are guys who, on the external, they're really cool, they dress well, nice perfumes, macho, nice job and stuff like that. But when you kind of interact with them, you feel like I can't look up to this person for that level of leadership for that role model to my children. This is something other ladies can relate to. I'd like to just take one or two comments, and I'm saying that because I've also heard this point a ton. I've heard it time and time again. All right. So in the comments, if you guys can hear me, I like one or two ladies to respond to that. Why that is going on? Prince, do you want to say anything about that? Or do you want to say something else? Hey, someone said empty come. Hi, what's you That's not real.
Wahala, wahala, wahala. Thank
Hey, my brother, you see it.
I was even nice. I was very
Ah,
nice when I was talking.
No, so the
hi,
thing is, I mean, I from the
hi.
moment she said it, I knew what she was going to say, and I
Hmm.
knew what you were going to say because I've um, I've had to deal with that kind of thing twice recently
Hmm.
by one of my very close friends. This pendulum swings both ways, just so you know.
Oh yes. Thank you.
Swings both
Yeah.
ways, right? There are ladies that are actually very, very ahead.
Very komisch.
Now, I'll quickly share my friend's experience with you because I had to interact with him and the lady. You know, and it was it was a
Hmm.
mess. It was messy. He met someone. You know, they both liked each other and started talking. You know, said, Pastor Tony, you're distracting me. Please mute him from the comment.
Who should I meet?
Yeah. Anyway, so he's a creative. Um, he's a very close friend of mine, you know, and he met someone. He actually came by to visit me, so went out to eat, and then we ran into this young lady at eatery. And according to her, she said she had seen me come there and go, so she wanted to be friends. So we started talking. You know, we exchanged contacts, and then I traveled for work, and she kept talking with my guy. Two of them, you know, got close and stuff like that. The guy is
Prince, if there's
professionally
any chance
built.
you could speak a bit louder, I think
Does
it
that
will
me?
help. I think your voice is kind of low.
Can you hear me
Prince, can
now?
you hear me?
Is it better?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So they got talking, they got close, and stuff started happening. And he wants to get serious with the lady, you know. And so every once in a while he wants to share work ideas. He's a creative, right? He's into branding. He does cartoons. He does animation and stuff. So she has nothing to offer the conversation. The only conversation she is good at is what do you see on Instagram today? What
Hey,
did this news talk about? And so it pushed him to start trying to find out more about her career wise. What are you doing? What okay? She graduated from she just did an national ordinary national diploma and then this. And so he reached out to me, let's get her a job. And I started making calls. And I asked her, what kind of job would you like to do? She said, yeah. And the only kind of job if I let me I'll share this thing to him and he will come on this live. He was like she
that'll
was
be
like the
good.
only kind of job she wants to do is I don't know what they call it. There's this marketing job where you are a merchandiser for a company and they post you to a mall or something and you stand and advertise products. And I'm like, why is that the only thing?
Okay,
She said that
direct sales agent.
that's her
Yeah.
talent, that's her skill, you know.
Uh,
My friend
I'm
was
sure
like,
she's a fine girl.
yeah, she's pretty. She's pretty. My friend was like,
Okay.
I can't deal with this. So I can try to convince her to even go back to school and have a degree or something. I can't have a proper conversation with her,
Sure.
you know. And I totally could feel what he was going through. And I started trying to convince the young woman to go. He was like, no, that she's making money from the job now. What does she need the school for? Blah, 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 blah. That if he's not interested, he should even go. And does he even know the? And I'm like, I don't know. It I really couldn't figure out what her problem was. I feel like the fact that in doing the kind of job she was doing, she was having men appreciate her for being beautiful. She felt that she can get men easily, right?
Yeah.
And she does not know
Yeah.
that quality men will appreciate your beauty and get close to you and pick your brain. And when they
Mm-hmm.
discover that there's nothing in that brain, nobody wants more from you than you know. So like I started by saying this pendulum swings both ways. But I feel that um someone said something. They said we should not marry, don't marry because of money, right? Marry because of
Mm-hmm.
all the other things that you want. And then my friend, now one of my friends, I said, go to where there's money and look for someone that has those qualities.
All of
So,
those things.
so don't marry because of money, no problem. But go to where there is money
When
and
there's
find those
money,
other ones.
I
So
find those
this
qualities. Yeah.
issue of intelligence imbalance, that was the way you said it, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I have learned to do, right, is to be conscious of where I look for people to be friends with, because there's a kind of environment you will not find those empty-headed people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me stop there.
All right, while you're stopping there, thank you so much for your points. I like that you said that the pendulum swings both ways. You know, I mean, you guys, the comment section. Let me go to the comment section for a
It is
bit
hot.
because these people are just, these people are just receiving now.
I've been laughing.
Fred Blossom, Fred Blossom, all this
They
energy,
are
and you
seriously
bring them to
distracting
life.
me. I'm
Like,
looking at the comments and I'm forgetting everything I want to say.
so let me tell you what I do many times. I don't look at the comment. I just look at the camera and just talk. All right, because this book can take you to another place you're not going to. All right, but I mean, a lot has been said in the comment section. Why some people like agree with you that you're not. Chicho can say you're not bantering enough.
Please ask him to come and banter. I don't know. No,
He wants you to be fighting
we'll
on this
get there.
one.
We'll get there, though. I feel like we're going to get there.
In fact, we need to get there very soon. Okay, I mean, I want to recognize a number of people I saw that came in at some point. I saw Freaky Boy in the house a while ago.
Yeah,
I
so,
saw Dosa. You know, I mean,
Pastor
so good to see
CJ,
you guys.
Doris Joseph, I
You
see you, my
know,
friend. Pastor CJ,
there is Joseph is
great
here.
to
The
see
very
you.
there is Joseph, and she's dropping nuggets. All right, so
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much. I'm even trying to scroll. Maybe I'll just flash some of this comment. But you see, yeah, somebody talked about, Millie Bell spoke about exposure. How that sometimes, even if people have educational degrees, but their mental exposure might actually be low. All right. And that at the end of the day, the lens with which they will look at life and react to life is not just from their intelligence or as it were, a book knowledge. All right. It's mostly from their psychological development. All right. And I think one thing I can really take out from this challenge is the fact that people need to learn. There's a whole lot of life lessons, life. You know, I developed, let me just deviate a bit. I developed a premarital course, and the first section of it, I didn't even talk anything about marriage. I was talking about life, about how you can take charge of your mind, your thinking, how you can create your own world, how you can take charge of your responses, how you can, you know, take charge of your interpretations, the meanings you give to the situations around you, how you can learn to, you know, to address the things you can control and the things you cannot control, the things that are beyond you. Why was I doing all of this? Because I needed to even lay a foundation that empowers the mind and does damage to some of the destructive thinking patterns that people have had and belief systems. All right, because at the end of the day, in fact, that reminds me, I think someone mentioned the point that some of these guys you say maybe are not even smart, out there on their jobs, they're killing it. They're doing great on their business, right? But how come when you expand the conversation to other areas of life, especially as it now relates to, you know, social and emotional and psychological maturity, you find that there's a gap somewhere. All right. So I think all these points are further emphasizing the need for people to take personal development seriously. In fact, I think Millie Brown mentioned that that these days people don't pay attention to personal and emotional growth. Everyone is out for the aesthetics. How do I look? You know, what am I putting on? You know, and I think there's a whole lot of distraction out there. Could it even be that some of these things are also contributing? I think so. To you know, to a lot of people staying single for a long time. Why? Because instead of taking time to deliberately pursue, you know, an area of focus and be a better person, they're taking time trying to look good and not really being good. All right. And then at the end of the day, everybody has an idea of the kind of person they want to get married to. And they are waiting for that particular specification, that type to come. Meanwhile, are they even themselves getting themselves ready to be that fantastic for someone else. So let me not even think about the conversation, really. We will be winding down right now. So, okay, back to you guys. I don't know. Prince, there was something else you wanted to say. You know, why do you think ladies stay not married for a long time?
There's a lot. There's a lot I want to
There's a
say.
lot.
I would love to say,
Hi.
Lots is a
you
lot.
know,
Okay, go ahead.
but
Mm,
do you want to say
No,
something
no,
first before I ask the
please.
question?
No, it's fine.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
the thing is that um, there's just our society, the current society does not even encourage anybody to get married, and that's because the
yeah,
models
yeah.
that the young people see now
Mm.
is a problem, and the fact
Mm,
that you cannot ignore social media. You cannot
mm,
ignore the social media. And where do these ladies, men pick the models for marriage from? From the social media. And so it puts you under a lot of pressure. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, a baby can't have a baby. Marriage is not business. And the
yeah.
Bible says that any, any man that wants to build a mansion will first sit down and count the cost. The reason why men, women are trying and failing is that the time of sitting down and counting the cost has not happened. Okay,
Mm,
we put
mm,
in our career, our studies, and stuff like that. We put in a lot of time to learn how to navigate these other places. But when it comes to marriage and
yeah.
relationship, nobody is interested in finding out how to make it work. You know,
Mm,
and sadly, unfortunately for us, in our time and season, the supposed people that are teaching us about marriage, their marriage are failing in front of us.
hey, hey,
Their
hey,
marriages
hey.
are
That's
failing in
point
front
to
of us. And so,
point to.
anybody you touch now will give you an excuse. After all, Steve, what's his name? Steve Harvey is no longer married. Someone said that rubbish
Hi.
to me last week. After all, Steve Harvey is no more married. There's this other pastor
Mm,
some weeks ago that his ladies used to like, very handsome guy like that, and his wife. After all, they're no longer married. But what exactly is the model for marriage? You know,
very good point.
nobody's looking at the actual model for marriage. Okay, so my concern with our time and season is where we are drawing our model from, and it is making it really, really crazy for young
Mm,
people to want to settle down right now. Because you see a man that knows what he wants in a woman, and he likes a woman that does not know what she wants in a man. Or you
mm,
see a woman that is
mm.
all prepared up for marriage, and she runs into a man that doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. And for some
I know you saw a
reason,
comment.
for for some reason, right? And for some reason,
Yeah.
um, the man he does not understand what the lady's problem is, and you're busy shooting your shot and shooting your shot back to back, and she will not tell you that these are what her problems are, right? And she just chill on the side, probably chopping your money, going to cool places with you, but whenever you bring up the object of marriage, you will just dodge this thing, you know, and you are getting mad at her. But the truth of the
Yeah.
matter is that she never see what she wants, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should become consciously involved in counting the cost. What what is it? How do I make my own marriage work? What do I need to do
Mm,
to make my own marriage work? There's a lot. The time is too short for this conversation, really.
mm. I have
But
one question I will ask
that's where we
after
start. Okay, go ahead.
this. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's just ask it now. Okay, very valid point you made there about the lack of proper models and stuff like that, role models and examples. Okay, let me just put a little twist, a little deviation rather. Now, what about economic situation? Is it one of the reasons guys are refusing to marry? If a guy already has a job, for example, um, what kind of pay is too small to consider a wife with? What kind of pay is enough to consider a wife with? What age is okay for a man to consider having a wife if he already has a job? All right, because part of my concerns is when I see guys in their maybe from 25 upwards who are already working, all right, and are not talking relationship for marriage yet. Okay, is there something else wrong there? Is there another reason? Like, what do we need to know? Is it that boys just want to pursue woman and have fun, or is there something else that is scaring them? Prince, you want to say something to that? As far as income levels, economic state,
Okay.
and stuff like that, how
So
does it really affect?
well, I'll say something my dad used to say those days. My dad said whenever a man wakes up, it is morning. You
True.
know, some men have a foundational problem in their relationship with women. Okay, we have a
Yeah.
foundational problem in our relationship with women, and some of these problems start from senior secondary school through university. And so you build a bad habit that
Yeah.
you don't see women as people that need to be married. You see them as people that you need to flex with, take them out on trips and do stuff like that. And so marriage is not one of the things on the list of what they see women as. And so it takes
True.
them a while. It takes them some level of pressure. It takes them some talking to some people constantly asking them, guy, you know, will I
Hmm.
marry? For it to start making sense to them that they need to get married. And I say this because I see this a lot. I have some friends that are like that. You know, what
Yeah.
you can afford to get married. Why are you not married? And you discover that this guy has not thought of it. You know, that's
Hmm.
one. Another one is the economic thing you mentioned, of course. And that's why right now people are beginning to learn that marriage is not meant for one person to handle, right? If you
Yeah.
approach marriage from the perspective that the woman is supposed to make up for what the man does not have in every ramification, in every sphere of the marriage,
Yeah.
spiritually, physically, financially, socially, whatever alley that you want to add there, right? When you see it that
Yeah.
way, you discover that nothing is a problem to people getting married. But when the man feels like, I'm not making so much money,
Yeah.
but your wife is making money, she's making, even if it's not
Ah.
as much as your own, when the two
Mm-hmm.
of you come together, right? The marriage will
Yeah.
work, you know, but fear of wedding is making people not have marriage. Fear of wedding. You want to
Okay.
have
Yeah, of wedding.
a wedding, really,
Hmm.
because I believe that okay, my dad got married at 25, and so my dad always saying
Okay. When you
when
finish,
from the moment
please
I
respond to that point.
yeah
Yeah. Go
from the moment I
ahead.
turned 23, my dad started singing it to me as a song. He got married at 25. Blah 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 blah. My
Hmm.
dad is in his early 60s now. And so he's like, if I stayed to your age before I got married, will I have children as old as you? I have an elder sister, you know. So he keeps saying that to
Yeah.
me, right? And so in terms of age, I feel that from 23, 24, a man that is working and can take care of himself and an extra mouth is ready to get married,
Good point.
you know. Because
Okay.
marriage pursuing wealth or a career with someone is a lot easier than when you're doing it alone. That's the truth.
So true.
You know, I don't want
Yeah.
to go into any deep marriage talks because I'm not married yet, so that somebody does not ask me for my ring. But I know what I can tell you for free. My parents had a successful marriage before I lost my mom. So I know everything I'm saying. I've seen it work. Okay.
Yeah, someone even says
My
your dad is a hero. This for Blossom again.
Please, someone else should talk. Like these guys are they are stoning
Big distractions.
I start off a
Comment section.
particular thought and then I see something here, then I just lose my line of thought.
You just forget. I can relate. Yeah, what you say is that I thought COVID taught us something about big weddings.
I was just going to react to that.
Yeah.
I was just going
Okay.
to react to that. I don't think at this point, a man should be saying that he is afraid of wedding, as in the ceremony. Because gone are those days where you put so much energy in the ceremony. I'm saying this from like, I have a friend who just got married recently, and I was asking her, how did you but that they just go, they do what the guys do. There was an understanding between herself and her man. They just told their family, this is what we want. We don't have any money to shalaye. We don't have any money to be trained about. We have a life after this wedding. And they went ahead. They did their thing. There was just a blessing. They paid right price. That was all. They went back. I was shocked. I was impressed at the same time, because we're talking about the pressure of the society. I don't think at this point, if we really know what we are doing, we should be pressured. I should tell.
So let me take it that you're saying that, yeah, that if you're serious minded about getting married as a guy, right? Okay. So if you see a lady you're interested in, you should go ahead and actually have the conversations and start talking marriage already.
It's as simple as that. Have a conversation. Except the woman is not being reasonable.
But you know, there are those like that.
So here is I'm going to tell you something I heard recently. I'm going to tell you something I heard recently from a girl. You know, when she came, she was like, her man, he's taking too long to do this. And I asked her, how ready are you to get married? That she already has the color this one in mind. She already this. Do I know how many ashwebis that she has bought? That all her friends must buy her.
That's crazy. You can't.
That's what people are thinking about. Yeah. No, that's what people are thinking about.
Let's be realistic here now. Mm-hmm. As much as I mean, CJ said something which is very, very true. No man wants a big wedding. You know why? After the wedding, the marriage actually starts after the wedding, and there are a lot of bills to pay. All right. So most of the time that there is pressure, most of I'm going to answer that. Most of the time that there is wedding pressure, right? Even, I mean, like you said, unless the girl is being unreasonable, but there are a lot of unreasonable girls out there now. It's scary some men.
You take a bow. Can't kill yourself.
The thing is, I think that we should, that's why the first thing I said was that babies cannot have babies. When you start, if you know what you're going into a relationship for, right? When you know what it is you're going into a relationship for, you start talking about the right things early, so that nobody will serve anybody breakfast, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm at the point in my life that if I'm dating you, it's because I see that you are good enough for me to marry you. And so from when these conversations will come up, you need to even know my thought pattern. I used to, up until maybe 2 years ago, my plan was that I'll go to my pastor's office and he will join me and my wife.
And that's doable. Sorry, let me just cut you.
Very doable.
It's very doable. What's the pressure?
That's good.
You know, but I mean, I'm thinking like, okay, now my dad is a preacher. He has a lot of friends and you now run into a woman that has maybe the kind of family, an influential family like mine. And so there's a train behind her, there's a train behind me. I'm the first son, and everybody's waiting for this. And that pressure is banging in your head, you know? And I'm telling, I spoke with my dad 2 months ago, and I told my dad that when I'm going to get married, that I will arrange a reception for him and his people. They will stay there. They'll stay in the east. They'll have reception. They'll eat rice and eat everything. I'm not coming. Nobody should come to Lagos.
It's
And
their reception.
he laughed at me, right? But I was trying
Yeah.
to get him to know that, see, that pressure of, I know who you are, or you are everything that you are. It's not my business, though. Because at the end of the wedding, everybody will go home, and then I will now stay with my wife. But what's Tony say, please? So,
It's ignore Tony. Yeah.
okay, so like I was saying right before, I was rudely interrupted by Pastor Tony. Like I was saying, right? The thing is
Yeah.
that if you have these conversations, you will know if the relationship will work or not. In fact, you might not necessarily have to deliberately hit the nail on the head as to I will not do this or I am not open to this. But there are some kind of conversations you can have. You can bring up other people's situations and look at how she or he responds to those situations,
To those things.
right?
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
there's something I do. There's something I do. I mean, present it to you like they have come to me for advice. So what do you think I should say to them? You know? And women like it when you seek opinion on issues, even if they have nothing to contribute. The fact that you even brought it up. So now when you put it to her at that point, and she doesn't have time to prepare or think about what to say, she will say what she actually is, right? And so that is at that point that you will know if you're plunging head first into a canal, whether you should run for your life. Okay?
True.
For instance, earlier today, a friend of mine texted me that one of her schoolmates, the person that texted me is someone I mentored. She's a lady, one of her schoolmates. In fact, one of them is on this line. He's getting married by next month.
Okay.
I've got her. She's here. Her friend is getting married by next month. You know that she has promised her friend that she's gonna that she's gonna be at the wedding, but that she's not too sure. I say, what's the problem? That the ashwebi is too expensive. I say, how much is the ashwebi? She said 30K. I say, in this economy, 30K for 3 yards, and then you will now sew. I now asked her, do you have to wear the ashwebi to be in the wedding? She said no. I said, so tell her you cannot afford. Tell her you cannot afford it and go for the wedding, right?
Yeah.
And so I now started asking her. So if you were in her shoes and you wanted to do a wedding, what would be your plan? All right. And she said some things that I was like, this one has more sense, you know. So the truth is, if you have these conversations, it might not be direct conversation of how would you like to have your wedding. Women are smart.
Yeah.
If you bring that kind of question, she knows that you start looking at her with wedding eyes, you know. But you bring someone else, look at something that happened in the office today. What do you think? And all. She will expose herself. You know, women, they like that. They like when you pass the mic to them, they will take it and run. She will expose herself and tell you, how will she have a wedding that she will not do big cake? And you will now see that they know all the vendors on Instagram. This person's cake is 250K. This one's cake is 200. But then the good ones, they are also there. That's why it's good to have that conversation, just so you know what your head needs. I'll stop there.
So, I mean, please, John, to say any other thing. I want to round it up because, okay.
Are you sure you don't want to say anything?
There's a lot to say, but I think we would have to.
Yeah.
The time is actually really, really short.
Yes.
Give me a second. So this is what I want to say. I think one thing that we have actually sufficiently said is that if two people are serious about getting married, they can actually work it out among themselves.
Yeah.
Abi?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So So maybe we should focus on Fabulous until this live will end by 1 year. It's not me and you.
You didn't see her,
Okay, yes.
her first post. She said what she wants is diamond ring, no matter what we are saying here. Pressure. Pressure.
I also saw the question when she said I'm giving up on her. Don't worry. I still have hope for you. Alright? But she's just a full vibe. She said she wants big wedding. She has suffered a lot. Alright.
You're seeing Shege Pro Max.
All right, but see, but the truth, these are very real conversations. These are the things we say to ourselves. Like, I've been single for so long. When I want to get married, I don't want to hear that. It's not a society wedding. You understand? I've really suffered. I've seen Shege, but let's really calm down to it. Perhaps that's part of the reasons why you overlook that young man that is not yet able to flaunt cash around right now, but in the next 5 years, it's going to be a big deal. All right. I think that's one thing that happens too. People are carried away by the externalities that they want to see, and they look down on people with really great potentials. And it goes both ways. Guys looking down on babes, she not fine rich. In fact, let me just say this, guys. Have you seen girls that were in your school were probably not fine? They didn't look like they had shape, they're not sexy and stuff like that. And then you saw them 5 years later, you're wondering, Jay, if I know I ask about that time, yeah, everything is changed. And you're wondering, is it the same girl? So it goes both ways sometimes. You're looking at people now, you're not giving any chance of the possibility of what they can become in the near future. And then you write them off. All right. So many ladies are missing their guys right now because the guys didn't come in a flashy car, didn't even come driving a car. Meanwhile, in the next couple of years, it's going to be a big deal. All right. So I think, there's really so much we could say, but I think one thing that I like that we have established is that people should not be afraid of waiting. All right. If a guy is responsible, has a job, he can feed himself, he can feed an extra mouth. Even though I saw where somebody said some people's extra mouth can be very deep. I saw that one. All right. But once that guy says, I want to get married, I think you should start having a conversation with the lady and they start planning together what they can do at that stage of their lives. Okocha just did his 25th wedding anniversary. JJ Okocha and his wife's 50th birthday, and it was a destination wedding. It was super cool. I tell people, why not get married just right now? You guys grow together, and when you're 10 years in marriage, you can shut down the space if you want. Real Warrior Pikin did that. Their 10th wedding anniversary, they redid their wedding from the engagement to trad to the white wedding. So my point is, why not just start from somewhere, allow yourselves to grow together, all right, so that eventually, you still have a whole future ahead of you. I saw where somebody said we should do part 2. I think that was Doris Joseph, and I strongly agree. So we're going to do a part 2 of this, all right, so that we can touch on a few more issues. I don't want to just rush it and close it up here. We'll talk about it again, all right. It might not necessarily wait till the end of November. By the way, next week is I don't know what I'm going to do next week. It's my birthday, November 1st. That's the best day in the whole world. All right, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
The best one.
It's the best
Take
day
back
in the
my
whole
clamp, Avec. Have you tasted September? Have you been there before?
September is in the past. Look at the picture. Oh, but September is another wonderful day in the year, actually. I got married in September. It's one of the best days.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you concur.
Yeah.
All right.
So I agree
we are
September is
now,
the
so I
best.
can
Not
clap
like
now.
November 1st anyway.
Hell no.
So I don't know what I'll do next week. You have a committed clap at you. Social effects.
You don't like the clap?
Alright. Well, that was a good one. I was tripping actually. That was very good. That's good. So I don't know what I'll do next week yet. You guys can probably send me ideas on what to do next week. But I want to have this conversation again. But most importantly, I want you guys help me do something for me and for your friends. If you have friends who are eligible for marriage, they're working a job, they have a business, they're earning, they can take care of themselves, and especially guys, and they are not in a serious relationship, or they are avoiding marriage, please refer them to me. I want to gist to them. I'm talking about the guys because ladies them there already. All right. I want
Close
to
and say
forward
you will
the
share husband. Though.
You say
Close and say you
let me
will
see.
share husband.
Sincerely, if I see husbands to share, I want to share. That's how I got into this space. So some of you don't know. I didn't get in here because I wanted to do counseling. I got into this space because I wanted to connect people together. It's matchmaking I started with. Before I started seeing that there were other issues, I said, okay, let me start teaching, right? So I still want to do matchmaking big time. All right. So if you have guys like that, please link the guys to me. Let me talk to them. If you're a lady, you're seeing a guy and he's just forming up and down, tell him that somebody wants to talk to you.
Doris just
Give me
put
his number.
a very valid topic. She said you should talk about wolves in clothing. I'm sure it's when I say wolves in sheep clothing.
Wolves in sheep clothing, eh? Can you imagine? A lot of conversation has even gone on. Let me be scrolling. Uh, let me see. Okay, I'll take note of that. Yeah, wolves in sheep's clothing and how to identify them, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to call it a day. Actually, we'll have to call it a day. You guys have been fantastic. If I look at the comments and the interactions, I wouldn't want to stop. This is the first time of pushing it this long, but it is for obvious reasons. And I really want to thank you guys who have stayed to this point. I want to thank my guests. Please help me give it up for Peace and Prince. And somebody was trying to do something there like Prince of Peace or stuff like that. I don't know about that, but you know. But that's not the case. Prince is not available. I don't know if Peace is available. But my prayer is that all my single friends should get married, and that is why I'm here to help and do the connections where necessary. One, two, to also help train people on mindsets, on belief systems, on what you need to know. All right, because marriage will test you. It will test you. Even those who think they are ready for marriage, they get in there and they still have some kind of challenges. How much worse those who have no bearing, no idea, no training, no information is going to really hit them hard. All right. I'm not saying this to threaten anyone. Cherish, by the way, it's good to see you. I forgot to acknowledge you earlier. All right. I'm not saying this to threaten anyone. The point is, people need to be deliberate about preparing for wedding and marriage, most importantly. All right. So that's that for that. Thank you guys. Really, thank you guys. Somebody says there, but sincerely, jokes apart, don't lose a good man over money. I agree with you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
having me. I
All
appreciate
right. God bless you guys. Thank you, everyone.
it.
Bye
Thank
for
you.
now.